Hello, everyone. Welcome to Next Level Humanity podcast. Nevşah here. We have a new episode. As the founder, CEO of NevCap, I am thrilled to be hosting successful entrepreneurs. And we have Altuğ here from Frankfurt. Welcome, Altuğ.
Hello, Nevşah. Nice to meet you again. And thank you very much for inviting me today.
Same here. Thanks for joining us. Shall we start by, talking a little bit about your story, because our listeners are mainly founders, entrepreneurs, and investors from the startup community, and they're always thrilled, just like me, by the story of founders. How did your journey start? How did you decide to become an entrepreneur? What have you done in the past, the projects you succeeded in, the projects you failed in. So just, brief background information.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I guess my startup and entrepreneur journey starts somewhere in my professional career at the 15 or 16 years of my professional career. I was working until this date. I was working in multinational companies, telco companies, technology companies, with a good the manager, senior manager, director position, with a good side benefits, and everything goes well with my life. But then, in parallel, I feel something that there's something missing in my life, and there are some discussions. I saw some articles about the startups and the entrepreneurship. Then I have no clue what all about in this situation. So then, as a regular Gen X person, I decided to go to education of this and started to learn something about from the school, and I applied to Istanbul Technical University's entrepreneurship program. And
I heard it's a very nice program.
Yeah, and also the program director, dear Mehmet Erçek, is a wonderful guy, and from the academic perspective and also from the startup perspective, he adds me lots in this journey. And I started this master program to understand more what is happening, what are these entrepreneur things, what is startup, what is pitch deck, and so far so on. It starts from every single step and starting from scratch. But I do something I think wrong. And before being an entrepreneur, I become a startup advisor. With this guidance of Mehmet Erçek, dear Mehmet, he just bring me to Istanbul Technical University's Incubation Center, Çekirdek, and started to discuss with the startup founders about their projects, idea, and everything. And I started to master program to become an entrepreneur, but at the end of the program, I become a startup advisor. And until now, I also complete, I think, something like 400 mentorship meetings, I can say. And it's also add me a lot because it is a really good win-win situation. There is an amazing, super intelligent guys there and try to do something, and you learn a lot of good things from the technology, from the commercial side with these startup mentoring sessions. And the story starts with that. Then I have different startups. One is for the gig economy, with the customer services perspective, customer experience perspective. One is coming from the e-commerce side, and I also do thousands of mistakes in the startup journey.
Yeah, so we all do.
We all do. And the funny thing is, I do all these mistakes, same mistakes, but when I advise to the startups guys, when I do the mentoring sessions. So it doesn't matter. So you can get or know the issue, but still you do the same wrong things and the same fail scenario again and again.
Even though you know what needs to be done, I think in the process of things, we make similar mistakes. It's very interesting.
But, definitely. But in fact, these new things, new fails teach me more than being successful. So the quotation called quick fail, quick fail better is I think true. And from now on, I also work closely with all the startups as an advisor, and also I have a chance to be a really good one of the biggest startup company till the last month. So this also teach me a lot. And now we are in today. I have a new opportunity for these days, and I have a new opportunity to deep dive in the AI world with a new AI company. And now I'm mostly focusing on that side.
Yeah, so you said something very interesting. The faster you fail, the better. My life motto is fail, go fast, fail hard. It's kind of like party hard. People say party hard. I say fail hard. Like crash as soon as possible and crash as deep as you can, because only then, if you fall, hard, if you can get up, you get up much more stronger and you learn a lot. And you said something, fail fast. The faster you fail, the faster you learn. And I think this is a huge lesson for entrepreneurs or whoever is listening to us, not to be afraid of failing, because we learn more when we fail than we can anywhere else. Like in my life, I have failed many times in many areas, relationships included, business. I have lost money, but then with that process, I have, with failing, with the, I think, pain of failing, you learn so much that you don't do the same mistakes ever again. So that's great. So what are you working on right now?
I'm working with a Switzerland tech fund, investment fund, to establish a new AI inference company for the European business, for the European market. So it's a quite interesting business, because with this logarithmic increasing of the AI services and AI operations, and also impact, there is a huge AI infrastructure needs. These NVIDIA, GPUs, LPUs, and thousands of different technology on the hardware side coming. But for the AI companies, there are two major needs. One is for the training purposes, hardware needs, and the other is for the inference, for serving this AI service to the end users. So in this new AI startup, we are mostly focusing on the inference side, because from my perspective, and also a lot of news and articles say that they use all the data in the world to teach the AI side now. And training is now declining, but the inference needs are increasing. That's why he's investing on the inference side, and the end user side make difference. And there is a how can I say, potential gap in the European market for that. America, United States is quite stronger for that, but Europe is still a little bit premature levels. It's just a crawling level. That's why we will do the best. We try to do the best for the European market with the different scenarios.
So because you're in the European market, so how is the European startup world right now? What's going on? I know that there are a lot of things happening in Paris and Berlin. Of course, it's the startup, there's a huge startup ecosystem. How is Frankfurt, and what's going on there? Are there a lot of startups? Are there a lot of funds? Where are you in the startup industry?
If we want to talk about the German market, so for sure Berlin is the hub for the startup.
Yeah.
But for the Germany, you can consider less. For example, if you live in Turkey and if you have a business in Istanbul, you can cover all the country, all the Turkey's cities. Yeah. But the Germany situation is quite different. Each and every states have their own ecosystem. And Berlin and this area are much more focusing on the startup and AI businesses. But for example, this Baviera state like the Munich is much more focusing on the automotive cars and something. This Frankfurt and Hessen area are much more focusing on the fintech side, finance. All the big financial institutions, Deutsche Bank and the biggest financial institutions are headquarters in Frankfurt. So from the startup perspective, Frankfurt is much more welcome for the fintech companies, finance companies, banking technologies, and
so
these KYC technologies.
Funds and VCs investing in finance, fintech startups over there in Frankfurt.
Yeah, and also the other interesting interesting thing for the Frankfurt is the data centers, because the Frankfurt is the center of the data centers for the whole Europe. I guess there is something 200 data centers are now in Frankfurt online, and almost 100 is coming on the way. It's constructing. This is coming. They are amazing, and most of them are constructing for the AI purposes. Because with the traditional data center models and the technology, you cannot provide proper services to the AI companies. They have some other needs. And now these new data centers much more focusing on the AI workloads and AI technologies, I can say. So that is the major changes and major shifting also in the Frankfurt.
Yeah, amazing. Maybe you know, maybe you don't. Some of our listeners do know, because my background is behavioral health sciences, and I'm a human behavior expert. I usually speak about AI and human psychology and how AI is affecting human behavior and how it's going to be changing everything in our human experience. So I'm going to be asking you some questions about that, because you're also working on AI. So what's your projection for the next 10 years when you look at AI and how fast it's growing? What's going to happen when you look at humans and our human life? Because there's going to be a lot of change and a lot of transformation on how we live, how we behave. And I usually, find it very interesting. So I do a lot of research on how AI is shaping human behavior and how AI will be shaping human behaviors, behavioral habits, and also who we are as humans. Like in 10 years' time or 20 years' time, or the next generation will be a different kind of humanity. So what's your projections aligned with that? Where are we heading towards? What are your ideas?
I guess it's the first thing as humanity we need to discuss about the human jobs. So because for upcoming 5 to 10 years, today's human jobs, most of the human jobs will not be available, and the human replaced by the AIs, because it is more effective, more efficient, and more predictable results. We have more powerful, efficient results comes with the AI. And for today, if students in the university times, and they are lucky because they have some jobs or the occupations that they can take and they can graduate from. But imagine like the primary school kids, when they comes to university time, what will be the jobs they will train for? We will train for them. I think we should redefine the human jobs. And today's jobs and today's education system is mostly coming from the industrial revolution. And these Harvard, Cambridge guys designed this education system for these today's job. But I think these universities or the NGOs and the governments need to rethink about this designing of the education system and human jobs. It has significantly changed everything. And also, I think the governments and the countries' borders start to be much more blurred with the AI. It's also affect directly to people's life and living. How can I say, conditions?
Yeah,
it's also it is dramatically changed.
And I think I don't know if education will be able to cope with it, but we definitely need. You said. That's for sure. We definitely need a new educational system, because my business is main business for 25 years has been education, and I've been in the educational sector for a long time now. The way, for example, we don't need to educate people. We don't need to teach people information anymore. It's like teaching kids, giving them information, like the way we did at school. We were, memorizing all the info. Like, we don't need all those information. It's already out there. All the information we need different skills. Now, I think instead of getting information about the world and how things are and this and that and history and this and that, we need other skills around, I think, structuring information. Children need to be taught how to structure all that vast information, how to summarize that information, like new skills to work with AI hand in hand, and and create different projects and different products and new businesses from what is already out there, what is available. Like you said, the educational system doesn't work, but when you think of it, it's really hard. When you look at the speed of AI, and when you look at the speed of how the governmental systems are, I don't know how that's going to happen. We're not fast enough.
Then it's also directly affect, I guess, for the democracy of the most of the countries, because the capital also support the democracy, especially for the undeveloped countries like South Asia. Because imagine that the US or the European countries, companies put some production operations to South Asia in order to decrease the cost and bring some of this capital to South Asia, and this money, this capital supports the democracy. People have a life then. But when we replace these people's, South Asia people's job with an AI, and when this capital transfer stop from the European or developed markets to undeveloped markets, what will happen in these countries? What will happen for the democracy, and how they manage the democracy or the anarchy in that scenario? It is a global problem, and you don't how can I say, you don't put yourself away from this discussion. All the like United Nations, all the NGOs need to focus on this area to design new world with the AI. And additionally, from the education perspective, I have 2 kids, and the school, I see some miserable tries to prevent the kids from the AI. I think this is a stupid thing.
It's miserable. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Instead, we should teach them how to work hand in hand with AI, because that's like no-brainer. You just can't limit AI.
You cannot limit a human.
That's why I say, by the way, that's why I said we are not fast enough. We are not fast enough to grow and find ways to work with AI. So that's like AI is going with 300 kilometers per hour, and we're just at 30 kilometers per hour. And so
it is dramatic. So I watched a video of Alex Wong, the Meta made a big investment for the Scale AI, this Scale AI CEO. He said that in this video, I will not have a kids, until humans find a way to connect directly with the AI systems. Otherwise, as humans, we don't have any chance against the AI. We need to find a way to connect our new, maybe the human 2.0, the new version of the humans, with the AI, directly with the AI. So otherwise, there is no chance to
we need to find a way to connect directly with the AI, with our thinking habits, and definitely. And also, thoughts are vibrations. So I think we can do that. Like human thoughts, at one level there are different frequencies, and at one level our thoughts can work with AI. Our thoughts can work with robotics, because we are like like radiation. We're just radiating, and like the radio frequency, we have certain frequencies. So the AI or robotics can actually be aligned with those frequencies.
True. And also there is a new announcement with the OpenAI and Apple designer guy. Maybe also probably this information now. OpenAI and this Apple designer guy who provide us iPhones, iPads, everything. They started to work for providing some products to connect with AI and human. So that's a new thing. So they don't mention about a new phone. They don't mention about a new software. They mention about some products connect directly human with the AI. So this is also fantastic news. And now we are started to talking about the human 2.0. There is a new AI-powered human, I can say. It's an interesting story, by the way.
Yeah, I can't wait. The only problem is how because human behavior needs time to shift. It's like we just can't. There are some people I've been speaking to. Like most people do not feel ready, for example, to get on a car that drives itself. Most people do not feel it's safe, but in like 10 years time, that's not going to be the issue. It just takes time. Human behavior changes in time, and we need that time. So the question is, how can we speed that up? How can we speed the alignment between AI and human psychology and human behavior? Because it's all about psychology. People are just backing up psychologically. People are afraid because of psychological reasons. And why people are afraid is usually they're afraid of the change. And when the change is this fast, they freak out. So that's why right now probably most people are freaking out because of AI, because of the huge change it is bringing, and because they just can't keep up with it.
Yeah, and also it's a little bit cultural thing. So the cultural differences also shape the AI, because there is a European University's study for understanding the behavior of the countries for autonomous cars, and they say that there is an autonomous car. You are on the car. You own the car, and you are on the road. And there is a two pedestrian. One is a young boy, and one is an old boy. And there is a crash scenario. How the autonomous car decide to saving with people? So the autonomous car should save the owner of the car, should save the young boy, or should save the old people. So this is a really tough questions from the cultural and ethical perspective. Yeah. And each and every country, when they make this study, each and every country's people give a different answer. So meaning that for like Turkey, these type of countries answer that save the kids first, the young people. The others say that like the US people, they say that save the car owner first, because he paid the money and he has a right to save it, buy the car first time. And some of the Nordic European countries say that save the old people, because they have a lot of rights, because they spent a lot of time for this country and spent their life for this country, and they have right to save their lives. So in that scenario, then you should automatically the people, then the autonomous cars owners, start to discuss how car automatically shift if they pass from a border from one country to another country in that scenario.
It's such a challenging, interesting time. I mean, I just can't wait to watch what's gonna happen, especially on the governmental side of things. Yeah. Thank you very much, Altuğ. I think it was a very informative and enlightening conversation for all of us, especially on AI. Is there anything you want to add?
Thank you very much. It's a real pleasure to be here, and thank you very much to you for having me. So it's also good for me to share such a kind of good conversation with you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you too. And I wish you good luck in your future with your company.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to all of our listeners and everyone who's watching us on our YouTube channel. I'll see you in the next episode.